Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for coming to my brother's service here on the Brule. Totally appreciate everybody here, and a lot of you, just about everybody, had some involved in my brother's life. Um, just a couple notes. We're going to do a follow-up celebration of life at the Crowbar starting at 2. So that tells you I have to stay on time. And then it'll be from like 2 to 4 at the Crowbar. And I want to thank Renee Peabody, Dee Dee, Brenda, and Phil for all the hard work in helping put this together. And of course, to my lovely wife, Pauline, who bakes everything, makes everything, and, just as awesome as usual. And thank you as well to Tom Merrill. I think if you've seen on the loop that we had in there, Tom Merrill put that together, which is really, really priceless. So, and that's a thank you to Tom. With that, I want to begin and make what is called a ceremoniously last cast that my brother, my dad, and Mark used to do. And what would happen is at the end of most field ed days, it would be like, we're going to have a last cast. So I have a rod that I built here for Mark in 1981. I built one for my dad that year, and I built one for Bob Carlson that year. So I built 3 of them. Bob has one, my dad has one, and my brother has one. Like I said, yesterday I caught like a 14-incher on my experimental cast. But this is just the last cast for Mark. We kind of grew up doing this stuff. Okay. Come on. This is my dad, one of my dad's favorite slides. He caught his biggest fish on this, that he said on the river, biggest steelhead, and his second biggest steelhead ever on the river. And it became a pattern that we would fish on Schlamagen Bay. And my brother was an awesome fly tyer as well, and he would catch some of the biggest fish out of all of us. Anyway, so that's the ceremonial last cast for my brother. And does everybody know that a old fisherman never dies? Only his rod goes limp? But in my brother's case, I'm not sure. Okay. So with that, one of my favorite things is Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod, thy staff comfort me. Thou preparest a table for me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me for all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The following is a quote that I found this, and my dad said it was from my mother to him. Death is nothing at all. I've only slipped away into the next room. I'm waiting for you somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well. Nothing is past. Nothing has been lost. There will come a time when all will be as it was before, infinitely together forever. And the next is a poem that was from my cousin's funeral, Larry. Those we love remain with us, for love itself lives on, and cherished memories never fade because a loved one's gone. Those we love can never be more than a thought apart, for as long as there is memory, they will live on in the heart. With that, Bill is going to say a few words, and if anybody else would, and then I'll just finish up. Bill?
Hello. I think most all of you know me. I'm Phil, Dean's son. I was asked to say a couple of words here, and before I start, though, and have this little reading for you, I just want to again welcome and thank you all for coming and joining. This means a lot to our family. It certainly means a lot to my dad. So, and those of you who are joining online as well, thank you for taking the time to join us as well. As we celebrate Mark's life in this beautiful place with all of you. So I was thinking about something that I could read, something that I could say that would be a good reflection on Mark's life, what he enjoyed, and is also a reflection of this place that we all enjoy. I found a poem that by Jill Eisnagel. And it includes all of those elements, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did when I found it. For years, the riverbank was where your soul felt most at peace. Your heart was most content when there with the fish and the geese. But then your spirit came to rest where angels chose to roam. And once equipped with 10-pound test, you made yourself at home. The sky became your deep blue sea. The clouds became your shore. And there for all eternity, you sat with friends galore. Each angel was a fisherman who had traded his pole for golden wings and a game plan at heaven's fishing hole. The tales you told about each catch, its stature and its girth, will live in memories unmatched as days pass here on earth. Until we meet again one day upon God's golden sand, we'll picture you no other way than with a pole in hand.
Very nice. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay.
Yeah, that was awesome, Phil.
Yeah. Okay. Mark was born in Superior on October 22nd, 1953. He would be 67 years old this month. He passed away in hospice in Omaha on May 16th of acute carbon monoxide poisoning of unknown origin. To celebrate his life today, we'll place his ashes on a white pine that I just planted yesterday, and that was from my property over on the other side of the river. We're looking straight across at my property on the other side. My house is right like about 300 yards right up there, only on the other side. It takes 5 miles to get there. But what we'll do today in the end is then spoons are provided. We'll take a spoonful of Mark's ashes, put it on the base of the white pine, and then take a spoonful of ashes and come out to the dock and put it on, in the river. The red pine and the birch, both of those were planted by my grandma and grandpa in 1962. And the hydrangea tree back there, we planted when my mom died in 2009, and that was a gift from Pauline's family, the Johnsons. The only one that's missing is Dad. He's a cedar tree over at my house overlooking my pond that the rainbows are in. So he gets to watch the fish every day. To celebrate Mark's life today, we'll place his ashes, as I said, in the white pine. And next we will take all the ashes and off the river dock. And the ashes that will go in today precede my mom's ashes, my dad's ashes, and my dog Comet. So Mark is going to join all of them in the river. Our family has enjoyed the love of the Brule on the site since 1960, 60 years ago. The cabin you see here was started in 1983 with the last cedar shakes applied to the roof by Bob Carlson and myself about 11 p.m. under lights on a December night in 1984, before a snowstorm. The snowflakes were just starting to come. And we have great friends that help. 3 of those are here today: Bob Carlson, Paul Gosman, and Gordy Edgett. Gordy did the wiring. And the house is still standing. Good job, Gordy. Mark grew up in Superior with hockey being his favorite sport, and he was good at it. He was a leading scorer his senior year of high school with a record that stood for several years. They also won the first actual Wisconsin State high school tournaments his junior and senior year. Mark Olson and Terry Bishop, who are here today, were big parts of those teams. In college, he was an All-American his junior year, won the Division III college championship, and a tryout for the U.S. Olympic team. Afterwards, Mark moved to Omaha and moved in with my parents, Archie Bunker style. He was a natural craftsman with woodworking and was known for his high-quality woodwork. Mark's early years in Superior were best described, in my opinion, as mischief. Not bad trouble, but everything had some kind of test to it. So if you look at his 6th grade picture in there in the cabin, that sneer, I think, Paul, you call it what? The Wellman look, or what do you call it? The Wellman smirk. The Wellman smirk.
Wyatt does it. I noticed it right away with Wyatt when I first seen Wyatt's picture.
Yep. I mean, it's so obvious in that picture, in Mark's 6th grade picture. I tell you, I burst out laughing looking at that. Hockey, fishing, canoeing, and all his friends kept him pretty busy. Those best friends, Mark Olson, Gordy Edgett, Woody Budnick, who has passed, Rick Plash, Mike Peterson, Terry Bishop, all very good friends of his. And Mark was a very social person, and especially with the girls, right? He became a very good trout fisherman. In junior high school, he would go fishing with our now legendary fisherman, Ron Pearson, who was my math teacher in 9th grade before we moved to senior high school, and Rob Miller, who was my shop teacher, but they go, Mark wasn't as good as you. No, I'm just kidding. But I always wondered, because he went fishing with those guys, did they influence the grades or what? Anyway, both Ron and Rob are good friends of mine, and I see him quite often through the sportsman's club. He learned to tie flies as well as anyone, as we grew up finding a herder's fly fishing kit in my dad's attic and asked Dad, what's this for? He said, for tying flies. Well, how do you do that? I don't know. Dad never did it, but we took over from there, and we would tie a lot of his flies and got Dad tying flies, and it was just a wonderful thing that we did in our family. You know, so he had no trouble catching fish on his own patterns that he would use. And, you know, he was pretty close to forming gills, you know, in a good way. He had wonderful relationships in his life, and for some reason, no one could pin him down. And, you know, but he had a big heart, was kind to everyone, was everyone's friend, and he could talk, so the contracting and remodeling business kind of fit perfectly for him, I thought. He has 2 daughters whom we met in Omaha, Alicia and Caitlin, and they are both terrific people. And they both have wonderful families of their own. Alicia looks almost a dead character from my grandma. I sent her a picture of my grandma when she was Alicia's age, and you know, she couldn't believe it. They are not here today, and they are going to be holding a service in Omaha as we are, you know, this month. So that'll be really nice. So I'm going to end the service today with an Indian prayer that is from inside the cabin. And just so everyone knows, the Wajadima sign that, you know, on the road, that isn't Ojibwe. That's the first 2 letters of Warner, Janice, Dean, and Mark. Wajadima. The canoe paddle underneath, Makawakikan, is Ojibwe, meaning the land is sacred. Yeah, so with that, I'm going to read the prayer. O great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, and whose breath gives life to all the world, hear me. I am small and weak. I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunsets. Make my hands respect the things you have made, and my ears sharp to hear your voice. Make me wise so that I may understand the things you have taught us. Let me learn the lessons you have hidden in every leaf and rock. I seek strength, not to be greater than my brother, but to fight my greatest enemy, myself. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes. So when life fades, as the fading sunset, my spirit may come to you without shame. God bless you, Mark. Tight lines. So if everybody would like to just start right there at the table with the spoons, and then put a spoon on the white pine and a spoon in the river, and then just put the spoon right in this bucket when you're done. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you at the crowbar.
Oh, Great Spirit, whose voice we hear in the wind, and whose breath gives life to all the world. Hear us. We are small and weak. We need your strength and wisdom. Let us walk in beauty. Make our eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Make our hands respect the things you have made, and our ears sharp to hear your voice. Let us learn the lessons hidden in every leaf and rock. Make us wise so that we may understand the things you have taught the people. We seek strength, not to be greater than our brothers and sisters, but to fight our greatest enemy, ourselves. Make us always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes, so when life fades, as the fading sunset, our spirit may come to you without shame.
Send them down the river.
Everybody else.
Which I learned, right?
Hi, Mark.
Seems like once upon a time ago I was where I was supposed to be. My vision was true and my heart was too. There was no end to what I could dream. I walked like a hero into the setting sun. Everyone called out my name. Death to me was just a mystery. I was too busy raising a cane. But nothing lasts forever. Your best efforts don't always pay. Sometimes you get sick and you don't get better. That's when life is short, even in its longest days. So you pretend not to notice that everything has changed. The way that you look and the friends you once had. So you keep on acting the same. But deep down in your soul, you know you got no flame. And who knows then which way to go? Life is short, even in its longest days. All I got here is a rearview mirror, reflections of where I've been. So you tell yourself I'll be back up on top someday. But you know there's nothing waiting up there for you anyway. Nothing lasts forever, and your best efforts don't always pay. Sometimes you get sick and you don't get better. That's when life is short, even in its longest days. Life is short, even in its longest days.